Okay. Hello, honey.
Hi.
We're just setting up here. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles, the Monday night show that we've been doing for about a year now, maybe longer. We're just setting up and making sure everything's ready. Let me check my audio. I'm not sure if it's on the right thing. USB audio, it's working. Good. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I want to talk tonight, and I'm really glad you're here because you'll help keep me sensible. I'm going to try to move back so that we can both be in it. Excuse me. Yeah. Got to start it off right, don't I, honey? I need to adjust the green screen a little because it's buzzing a little. We'll just pull the fade down a hair. Part of it's because of the background. The background is Last of the Reapers. We'll talk about that if we get a chance tonight. I have to put in a password so my wife can help chat on out of Facebook. There we go. So tonight I want to start talking about the mutiny over at the shared universe, the Comicsgate TM shared universe. I played a significant role in this, as I don't know how to say this without just saying it. I was manipulated and believed a lot of crap. I have receipts to prove it if necessary, but essentially, Zombie Namacron? Yeah, Zombie was, I don't even know how to begin this. He was the type of person who was negative about everybody. And literally, I have receipts to show how he spoke negatively about all of us, or at least the major players. The main thing that he kept instilling on me was that Preston Poulter was pretty much garbage and that he was an alcoholic and he was not serious about comics. He was just trying to make a movie. And you know what? To address that momentarily, if that's all Preston's doing, who cares? Who cares? I'm making comics. He's making comics. If he hopes to get a TV show or a movie, more power to him. I mean, which one of us idiot creators are going to say no to either one of those if that ever happened with our characters? So that was my first mistake. I started falling into this, he doesn't really care about us. Then something that was said to me that was really upsetting, and Diana can tell you I talked about it for a week, was Zombie claimed that Preston had called us losers and amateurs. And I might be an amateur, but I'm no loser. And that in itself was enough to drive me nuts. Mm-hmm. Hi, Vicky Verse. I will be opening up StreamYard in a minute after we get through some of this, if anybody wants to join in and comment. But the bottom line was he started painting a negative picture about Preston that seemed to fit, but without communicating with Preston. Hello, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Without having direct communication about it, I'm not picking you up. It became okay. It became almost like, like like the thing. You know what I mean? Like it was the thing that kept coming up.
Right.
Preston wasn't supporting us properly. Preston wasn't behind us properly. Preston was out for his own gain. And I'll show you something that did upset me. And this is where I fell into the trap, if you will. This here is White Lily. White Lily is a wonderful full-color comic. I think it's 48 or 60 pages long. Mm-hmm. And it was not set up the way I thought it was going to be. My book has this logo on the back, and JDA's book did too. Mine's on the front. This is on the back. Preston put this logo up, and it says Comicsgate. You can't really see it there because it's getting blown out by the green screen. It says Comicsgate TM really small in the top, but the logo wasn't included. So I was a little hurt. Nothing I wasn't going to get over. And I confronted Preston directly because I didn't even see the Comicsgate. In fact, you're having a hard time seeing it too, aren't you?
Pocket Jack's Comicsgate.
Right.
He redid it. He just added
No, he didn't redo it. He just added it to his original logo that he uses for Pocket Jack Comics. Okay. Not a big deal, but for a little baby like me, I was whining and moaning. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like it fed into the narrative that had been set up, that Preston didn't care about us. I did contact Preston directly, and he pointed out where it was because I sure couldn't find it. It's that small. But then things started to come unraveled for Zombie. He was talking to Mecca and myself, and he was insisting that Preston had said something. I forget what it was, but he said Chris should have it if he goes back in the receipts. I'm scrolling back, and we're talking, this is an old conversation, probably 3-4 weeks old. And I realized Zombie's talking crap about everybody in the stream. Even Mecca, when we were told that we were new admins, Preston wasn't an admin anymore. He was like, well, Preston's a boy and he means well, but sometimes he's just not mature, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait a minute here. So basically the mutiny came one morning. I woke up after complaining about the Comicsgate TM name and the drama because I didn't want any of it. I wake up and we've been made admins of the group, and he's pushing me. Zombie is pushing me to come up with a name. Ironically, I didn't have a name. I was dry. I was like, I don't know what to call it. I still wanted and still want the shared universe completely, but I didn't have a name to replace Comicsgate TM. So what happened was I went to Mecca and I said, hey, bro, you got a name for the comic book company or the wiki? And he said, I don't know. He tossed out a couple, but then he said, how about Supernova? I was like, that's it. That's perfect. So it got changed to Supernova. Preston lost his admin privileges, and for about, 30 minutes, it looked like this was going to be the way. But the more I spoke with Preston in DMs, the more I realized that we were getting played. There was a conversation going on between Mecca, Zombie and myself. And Zombie was pouring it on thick, and I had looked at the DMs while he was talking, and I just felt an overwhelming sense of maybe it was self-awareness, maybe it was my conscious, maybe it was God. But I knew right away I had to step back and get out. Um, and I did right then. I said, look, guys, I'm really sorry. I can't do this. I got to go. And then I went to Preston and I told him what had happened. Now, in this time, something that's important is a lot of people are speculating that Comicsgate is getting information from Zombie, or I'm sorry, Comic Book Hut is getting information from Zombie. I'm sorry, Comic, but I got to tell you, guy, Zombie's not a reliable source. And I know that he's getting information from Zombie because Comic Book Hut came to me with a couple of questions, which I answered. And I answered honestly. For instance, one of the questions at hand was, who is Five Red Comics? There's a logo right there. You probably can't see it. This is actually Preston's distributor. And I let Comic Book Hut know that after it was suggested that this is just a movie company that Preston's trying to align with, and he's going to end up leaving us to go make a movie, yada, yada, the whole 9 yards. Don't even know if it's true. Could be. But the point is, Preston said it was his distribution company, and that kind of leads us to Preston. Preston has been nothing but awesome. He's not been my buddy. He doesn't like pay me money. I did the logo for free because I wanted to help him. But like, there's not a business relationship here, but he has helped me significantly. Number one, get over my apprehension about crowdfunding. Without Preston, there would be no Kickstarter. And without Preston, the Kickstarter would look like crap, don't you think? He really helped me put the tiers together. Mm-hmm. He made sure I was wording stuff together. Mm-hmm. He even was the guy who said, hey, have you put out the surveys yet? So when you guys trash Preston, understand I'm not a part of that. And ultimately, this last episode with Zombie did nothing but embolden my respect for the man. Ever since I met him, I've always spoke highly of him. I felt God moving me to trust this guy. And I've said it over and over and over again. And he just keeps coming up smelling like roses. So if anybody's wondering how I feel about Preston, it's 100% love. The Comicsgate TM thing, I've been warned by people in the industry I need to not get involved in Comicsgate specifically because there's a lot of bad stuff going on. And I don't know which one they're talking. So I'm thinking I'll avoid the TM, but I'm not avoiding Preston. As long as he'll have me as a friend, I'm his friend. Do you want to add anything to this? Because you've been living with it.
Well, I really don't have much to add. I've only been your listening ear. I don't really, it's been a lot of immaturity, a lot of not kind things.
On my behalf, too. Don't let her. I'm not trying to scapegoat anybody. I am as responsible for the things that happen.
I just don't get the mentality of like, why do people want to say not true things, or I don't understand that.
My only speculation is it was a power play for reasons unbeknown to me. I don't know why somebody would want to push Preston out of his position of power, considering Preston doesn't even treat it like a position of power. Preston's just making comics, and I think in some ways he looks at us like amateurs. I don't think he looks at us like losers, but we are amateurs.
I was going to say, but we are.
90% of us involved in the shared universe, what books we have published, we've published ourselves. And some guys haven't done anything like that. They're just getting into creation, and that's wonderful. But to knock Preston is to be ignorant. He's got a past, we all do. And I'm not going to knock his past. He's a good man, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to be thought of as an enemy of Preston. Even if I never run the Comicsgate logo again, he's got my heart. He's got my support. Okay. In fact, I've got his book right there. And that's really about it as far as what I wanted to say.
All right.
I'm sorry to everybody involved that things went so badly. And before you walk away and think Zombie is a really bad guy or something, I don't know that to be true. He might have been acting out of the best interest of everybody around him, in his opinion. I don't like being a slanderer or an accuser. I have to believe that he was trying to look out for what was best, but I think he was seeing things that really didn't exist. And if they do exist, they aren't that big of a deal. Believe me, nobody's going to be happier for Preston. Well, Preston will be happier, but I'll be extremely happy if he gets a movie or a TV deal. Who wouldn't, you know? But it kind of got slanted and turned around into something negative. And it was something that I fell into, and it's my fault for allowing that to happen. But honestly, I'm just coming clean, so you guys know. There's no animosity here.
Good.
So I'm going to add the StreamYard link now if anybody wants to come in and comment or talk. And actually, Zombicron, if you're out there and you want to join and say your piece, feel free, please. This is by no means shutting you out, as I respect and love you too, dude. It's just negativity is not needed. We need positive. We need to work together if we're going to get anywhere. Right.
You need positivity. You need professionalism. You need encouragement. You need compassion. I mean, it's hard being a comic book artist in this day and age. It's hard, especially with the COVID and everything. And
the COVID.
The COVID. It's just hard. You know, I don't get it.
All right. So let's read some of the comments then.
I can't see them. So
yeah, I'm going to put them on screen. So Gary says, good evening. Good evening, Gary. Lorenzo says, you should have asked me. I know both Preston and Zombie. But that's kind of not my style. I don't like to gossip about people. And usually the only time I get involved in any sort of gossip is when it's brought up to me. So next time I'll probably ask you, but I didn't even think to do that. Diana says, hello and welcome. Lorenzo says there's Comicsgate brand and there's a Comicsgate brand and a Comicsgate certification. And you know what? The ideas behind those are genuine and they should stand. Comicsgate TM is dedicated to releasing books on time, fairly to customers without doxing them and harassing them. It's a beautiful idea and it's something I still support. Mighty Geek says, greetings, everyone. Terry, I put the link in YouTube if you want to join. Lorenzo says, hey, Terry. Why did you guys change the name of Preston's site without his permission? That was pushed heavily by Zombie, and it became to the point where I was literally waking up, and I have receipts to prove this if necessary. I was waking up in the morning, and he was bugging me for names. What are we going to name it? Because at one point in the message board, actually at his prompting, because I asked him why we haven't considered it as a group, I posted on the wiki, why don't we talk about changing the name to get away from the negativity? And what it ended up being was a move to try to get him off the wiki by Zombie. He was talking to the people of fandom, trying to get his stuff off. And ultimately, I didn't have a name. I asked Mecca because I knew Mecca might have a name, and boom, that's how Supernova came. We're now going to welcome Terry to the chat. And I'm going to... Who did?
Jim Ruddy.
Jim Ruddy. Okay. Hi, Jim. He's an old friend. You know him, right? He's a jokester. Hi, Terry. I'm just going through the thing. At the point, though, with the name was changed, Zombie had pretty much gotten me and Mecca to believe that Preston was out. And it was weird because he almost made it feel like it was us that had decided it. But really, all I wanted to do was talk about the name change. It's Red 5 Comics. My apologies, Terry.
Yeah, Red 5. They do a lot of independent publishing, too.
Yeah, and what was told to us, and actually I noticed that it was created by somebody from LucasArts, but what was told to me at least was, yep, that's Preston's ticket to the movies. Man, you could have won a trip to outer space. Well, I can still get that trip to outer space. And they are an independent publisher. Absolutely. That's Terry's further comment. I'm almost done the comments, I think. Bean from PA. Hello, Bean. Bean is my friend on Twitter who constantly shares news articles and clips and stuff that I really, really dig.
Howdy.
In fact, she's kind of my CNN Fox News now instead of going to the cable. Vicky says, Preston has never given me any reason not to trust him. Amen, Vicky. And in the end, that was why I pulled away from Zombie, because Zombie was throwing all this dirt around, and it made sense in the context that he was sharing this dirt, but it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? At no point has Preston ever made me feel like I couldn't trust him. At times I feel like he doesn't like me as much as I like him, but that's okay. Most people don't. So to continue, Lorenzo says, hey, Beam. Hi, Lorenzo. I don't have a past, and you can't prove that I do. Well, that's probably true, DA. You probably don't have a past. I think you're a bot, but you have a really good voice for a bot. Barry Merritt says, I got the FBI background check. I don't have a background check. I just trust my instincts, and sometimes they're wrong, but usually not so. Don't lie, DA Talks. Prove it. Okay, so we're having a little fun there. I can probably skip over that. That's the StreamYard link if anybody wants to join. Comicsgate was to sanitize the hashtag. Amen, Barry. That's what I thought too. In fact, I thought that not only would we sanitize the hashtag, but we would discourage them from continuing it. And as we've all seen, that's not necessarily the case. Negativity is needed in order to have a full circuit. Yes, but not negativity against each other. If you want to come to me and say, you know what, Chris, your comic book sucks and it's A, B, and C, I'll take that negativity and use it. But if you come to me and say, DA Talks is a piece of crap because of something that doesn't matter at all, just you start talking crap, that's the kind of negativity I'm talking about. We don't need that.
No, we don't need that.
Dennis Tarbell joined. Is that Dennis or is that Tucker?
I can't tell.
Well, hello, Dennis or Tucker. Bottom line, it's Preston's business. Amen, Barry. I'm with you on that. Yeah. And now we're down to the final comment. So, Terry, I'm sorry to have kept you holding there. What's up?
Nothing much. I was just wondering why would Zombie do that?
You know, I wish I could tell you. And I don't know. I'm not much for releasing receipts, but I have collected as all the important ones. And if anybody really wants them, I'll talk to Preston and maybe release them. But at this point, they're not really necessary because I don't want to bury Zombie at all. I just want to make everybody aware of what actually happened. Oh, Lorenzo is in. Hello, brother Lorenzo.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's been a headache.
Absolutely exhausting. And you should have listened to the Green Man. Not, you might not have known, but some of these other people, should have. Nobody asked me. Nobody invited me. Well, you invited me on the stream. I guess Mecca put something in. Eventually put a StreamYard link in the chat. But I'm saying, I know about Zombie. I was warning people about him, and he did. You wonder why he did it? Quite likely, he's quite likely a sociopath. I'm not saying he is absolutely, or he's just insane. He literally told me. I'm sorry if I'm rambling.
Don't worry about it.
I don't mean to be dominating the stream, but I'm just saying he literally told me that, and I don't usually talk about people's private conversations. In fact, we've got a rule against it. But I think Vicky and DA revealed that he ended up scamming the Australian government, allegedly.
I saw the same article.
He told me after I kind of believe he told me in chat, he told a bunch of us that there were SEAL people, fucking SEAL people. Sorry for swearing. There's people who are like part SEAL or something like that, and that there's native inhabitants of Antarctica. And
that's why Doug was saying he was a little kooky.
Didn't really raise any red flags for anyone apparently, except for me. And even after that, then he interrogated a friend of mine who, this was before the whole Peter Cimenti thing came out, before he revealed the video that a friend of mine who had seen the live stream when the police knocked on his door and everything, and whatever happened. Well, Zombie was interrogating that friend of mine. Like he and treating him like a hostile witness. Well, you said you saw this, and what he meant is he heard what was going on, but he didn't see it. And just because he misspoke, this guy was interrogating a very good friend of mine. So you don't understand why people right then didn't stop being friends with him. And I'm not talking about comic book cut. He's got maybe comic book cut is the good. If he like goes and sends super chats and stuff. I don't blame comic book cut for liking the guy.
No, I'm
not blaming Mecha or Zombie for liking the guy. I just kind of frustrated that nobody asked me when this thing came out, because I actually knew about. I had some back. I had actually warned people about him, but I had even tried to patch things up with him before, just to be. It's like, okay, this guy's a bit nuts, but I'm going to be, try to be friendly, civil towards him, because so many people brought him on streams, and he just completely flipped out about that. Why? Because I asked him if he could unblock me,
So honestly, my experience with him started in Preston's Writers Workshop on Wednesdays. And I really had no idea what was going on. I guess I wasn't as connected as I think I am. But I promise you next time, Lorenzo, I'll ask you if I have a problem with somebody and see if you know anything. But I was like, okay, he's a writer. And in a way, the fact that he was on Preston's show kind of added to his credibility, because I was like, well, he's on Preston's show. He can't be half bad, right? And he does come across as extremely intelligent. Yes, he's very personable. So I fell right into I put him right in the trust pocket. And one thing I can tell you about me, guys, and if you're a con artist, it's dumb to tell you this, but I'm very trusting. Ask her. She'll tell you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it, Barry. He's probably a flake. But he was, just like anybody else, he's a person, and I don't want to hurt the guy.
Well, you didn't know about it, so you were giving him the benefit of the doubt. You were giving him face value. Like, you meet people, you don't know.
But I still want to give him the benefit and the doubt, in that I don't know if what he was doing was intently evil or if it was just misguided. Was it just another SEAL person episode where he thought he saw something bad and was trying to warn people? Or was it a sociopathic evil? I don't know.
Matter.
No, it doesn't.
We can't diagnose. We're not, doctors. And does it really matter? Like, I mean, when everything is said and done, you've worked it out. You now know better, and you just move on. Because,
well, DA is kind of saying that right there. He's saying the thing is, no one should feel bad that they associated with him.
No, of course not.
I have felt bad.
You shouldn't.
But that's why I wanted to do tonight's chat. It's not going to be a constant topic for me, but I wanted you guys to know. I wasn't part of the mutiny really because of anything truthful about Preston. I was, in fact, part of it. I'm not trying to cop out of that.
No, but you were being given misinformation by John, basically.
But hopefully, in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that he really believes he was doing what was right.
Right. Well,
I don't want to believe evil of anybody.
Right.
And even if he is, I want to help him.
Well,
not in a way of helping him now.
But in time, he may reach out to you or something. But right now, there's nothing more you can do. You've gone to Preston. You've talked to him about it. You guys seem to be okay.
Right. This is like the
biggest thing.
This is the closing chapter, because it's the only way I know to get the word out to everybody.
It probably was ego Barry put up. I'm sure it was.
In my behalf, some of it was. I don't know about him. But I know that when someone tells you, "Hey, I like your work. You're doing great. Help us, help us."
Good. Yeah.
Right. So at least in part, my actions were ego-driven. But no, by saying that, it helps me learn not to do it again. It helps me to recognize a weakness.
You can identify it as ego. But if somebody was encouraging you and said, "Hey, that's a really sweet piece of art. I like it." Then you start a dialogue back and forth. You're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And,
right.
Yeah, and blah blah blah. So I mean, I don't. Was he stroking your ego? I guess you could say that. He was encouraging you. All in all, he ended up not being as truthful as you thought. So,
but truth is a funny thing. Truth is one of those words. So let's just go into the assumption that he's a complete flake. He may have been honestly truthful with us, and just not
being a flake.
Right.
He was a flaky, truthful person. Okay.
Yeah. What about the fact that he's a jerk to just about everybody? Didn't that raise any red flags? I mean,
brother, that was the thing that woke me up to it, because he was talking to Mecca and he wanted me to find something that Preston had typed in a DM, which I never did find. But when I went back through the DM, it was a group DM. I saw repeatedly Zombie was knocking every person in the DM. He never said anything positive about anything. There was always a little barb in everything, you know, like, oh yeah, he's an okay artist, but boy, he can't write. Or he seems
very
like
critical.
right
He
of
had an
everybody.
opinion about everything and everyone.
And it became it when I went back to the comment. Sorry, Barry, I'm giggling at you. When I went back to the comment, when I went back to talk to him, him and Mecca, that was where I cut it off, because I just felt my conscience, I felt God, I felt everything in me saying, stop this now, because this is going way too far and something's not right.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. This is just sluts, and I'm not. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Am I blaming you or not? I was gonna say I'm not blaming you, but I don't know. I mean, I still wonder. I mean, like after you praising Preston and all that, you know, it's just for you to be changing the name. That just seems very odd.
The name change was stupid in the sense that it should have been, and I still contend this, it should have been discussed. Not in a little, you know, post thing where Preston may or may not have seen it, but we should have had a real discussion like this. We should have gotten.
Why the fuck did you make a logo and then change the name? Sorry to be so blunt, but why?
No, it's okay.
But
the thing about
like,
it,
if you want to go and make something Comicsgate, you know, you might as well call it bloody diarrhea or whatever. But if I'm going to make bloody diarrhea popular, you know, I'm going to make it a good thing or whatever. And, you know, it seems like it seems like the whole thing was to troll Comicsgate, and it caused them to engage, maybe possibly cause them to engage in some infighting, and maybe that helped. I don't know. I think that might have been a work campaign or like on the outs, and I don't know how much of that has to do with that. And how much.
But I think if we're going to be honest, I think Preston's initial thing was kind of, because Preston said when he got the trademark filed that it was a shock to him that anybody wanted to use it. So I think in some ways there was a motive behind it to kind of stick it to Comicsgate, but in other ways, I myself, I embraced it. I was like, you know what? Let's make this the best we can. Let's support customers.
But you always want to see people together, and kind of like, you know, being genuine and being kind to each other and working out your differences. That's just who you are. So when somebody comes in and they start saying negative stuff, it throws you for a loop because you don't want that. You don't like that kind of stuff. Well,
and I'm just like anybody else. I'm susceptible to it. So I mean, I talked.
Then you get caught up in it because then you're trying to do this, that, and everything else. I don't know. I think
what probably happened is we were both on the spectrum, and I know what it's like. You know, I think somebody probably came up, you know, and I think Zombie manipulated you. You know, and who knows? Maybe he's got it convinced in his head that he's doing the right thing. I'm not saying that he himself doesn't think highly of himself or whatever, or think his motivation, you know, to him, his motivations could be seem very pure. You know, it could just very well be misguided.
And for me, realizing that I allowed myself to get caught up in it, I had to step away from him at that point. When I left the wiki to him in Mecca, I blocked him, and it was simply because I didn't want to be talked out of my decision. I knew God had led me there, and I wasn't going to get talked out of it.
Wasn't John the one that kind of put the wiki together? Like, didn't he?
Well, like Seven said, he said calling Zombie a flake is not accurate. Zombie was very industrious, possibly too industrious with the wiki, leading to a sense of possessiveness. And that's true. Zombie adopted that thing and massaged it and shaped it like it was a piece of clay on a wheel.
That's what I mean. I remember you saying that he was doing John. I remember throughout this course of time, you were saying John's doing a lot of work on the wiki.
Yeah.
He's helping Preston. They're working together. But,
well, I saw it all as a positive, but what Seven is saying is probably true.
Mm-hmm.
He probably took a sense of possessiveness.
Well, of course.
Because if you bleed and sweat on something, you own it. You love it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't legally own it.
So have we covered it, do you think, pretty well?
I think so. Guys, are there any questions or comments before we don't talk about it?
Which I have.
By the way, that's Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne.
You've seen a drawing of her on her husband, the
Okay.
cat?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Very cool. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. This is my wife, by the way, everybody. This is Diana, if you don't know her.
Wife.
She is the, what are you, honey? You're the backbone of Hero
I'm
Shack.
your wife.
Yeah, but she
I
keeps
do
everything
everything.
running somewhat businesslike.
Yeah. Well,
I hope
somewhat.
people stick around because I honestly wasn't coming here for this part of the show. I was just like, because it sounded like you're just going to do this, like what you is what you're doing is like just doing a short thing and then moving on.
Yep,
So
exactly.
I just hope people stick around because this is they might hear God chat and they might think it's some sort of like either I don't know fire and brimstone or they might think it's just
Well,
something uncool and it's completely different.
If we can move on to the next thing I want to say, really, is it's really targeted towards Testify and Soy Rage, and that is Testify. Don't come back to my chats. And if you guys can't treat my friends like Lorenzo with respect, you're going to be tossed. I'll tell you, Lorenzo and I and Terry and I, we stream together all the time, and I love the guys. And yeah, if you want to go call somebody a piece of crap or whatever you want to say, there are plenty of chats to go do it where they actually enjoy that.
Mhm.
We get together and we talk, and it might be geeky. It might not have a lot of views,
Right.
but I'm not doing it for views. In fact, I like to say when we have low views, it's like a rare book. There's only a few copies left.
I actually like Soy Rage. He's kind of entertaining.
He's funny, but I don't want him. I don't want anybody picking on my friends.
Yeah, the Testify guy did get kind of obnoxious after a while. Ended up with a headache. Though I had kind of a headache to begin with because of all this drama. But
Yeah, we got to move past the drama.
yeah, I'm just saying that's why I had a headache last night. Is when I started off with a headache, well, kind of a small headache. Then it got bigger and bigger as those guys were. But I don't know. I actually did follow those guys on Twitter though. Just to.
I think I have them on my.
I'm gonna give them a chance on there. Hopefully, now if Testify starts acting that way, yeah, I know he's War Campaign. It's pretty obvious.
I do have to be obvious about this, okay? War Campaign picked on my friend Bean. They picked on me. They picked on Preston. They picked on most everybody that I care about on Twitter. So unless they're coming repentant and apologetic, I really don't have any use for them. And even then, it's going to take a long time to heal those scars if they can be healed.
Yeah.
And it's not that I hold animosity. I literally wrote everybody I could in War Campaign. Rose still has me blocked, but I said, I'm sorry about the fighting. I don't want to continue with this over our heads. I don't want to be buddies, but I don't want you guys to think of me as an enemy. Yeah, they do, Bean. They're awful.
Yeah.
Vanessa wanted to
Oh,
say
Vanessa. Okay, so Vanessa Hamlet, she's in Facebook if you can't see her. This is the lady that let us adopt Tiny. And Tiny is this little baby here who's licking my arm like crazy, like she always does. And if we put her down, she will scream like a little baby. So we're dealing with her, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, she wants to be held. She wants to be part of the stream and all that.
She's very loyal, very loving.
She's a super sweetie pie.
Right. So do you want to talk a little bit about Last of the Reapers?
Absolutely. Shoot.
So behind us here, you'll see on our green screen, we have Last of the Reapers. That's our Halloween 2020 book. I am finishing up the script this week.
Mm-hmm.
I am hopefully going to have a few people read it, including Preston Poulter, who I want to actually go on his show and have it kind of examined because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be coming out in Halloween this year. It'll be black and white with some color, but not a colored comic. I'll be using color to accent the black and white. And a very little special feature is we're bringing in Arthur the Werebear, created by Mecca. That bear is already being used in one of Preston's books, but because of the nature of my story, the Werebear fits perfectly, and it'll turn out that he's actually the hero of the book.
Very cool.
But Last of the Reapers is going to be about guardian angels and how, in my world, the guardian angel is also the Grim Reaper for each person. There's only one angel and one reaper. They transform throughout the life of the person. The closer the person gets to death, the more they become like the reaper. The reaper becomes like a reaper. He's like an angel, goes to a reaper. The end of the world has come, and everybody has been killed except for 4 humans. And there are other humans, but they're soulless. And that's a key. There's no more reapers being made, so there's no more humans with souls. So there are cavemen-like men out there, humans, but they're not human. They're just animals. And there are monsters and various...
Do they look human?
They look human like a caveman looked human. They're very rough. But these 4 people have survived like 10 years after the apocalypse, and they're still running around.
Mm-hmm.
And the Reapers are trying to kill them. The problem is the werebear is about, and the werebear can see them. People would say, how can the werebear see him? Well, the werebear, Arthur, isn't a werebear by magic or by infection from another werewolf. It's a result of the aliens who probed him and turned him into that. That's actually part of his real story that Mecca has shared with me. In the process of being changed, that is why he can see the Reapers, and he sees them trying to kill the last 4 people, and he keeps interceding. So in the first scene of the comic, our human survivors are rummaging through the rubble of a store, and they're trying to find food and supplies when they're attacked by a bunch of rabid raccoons that are actually 3-4 times the size of a normal raccoon. They ditch into a freezer, which is part of the rubble, and it's not on, but it's like one of those metal freezers. And they're saved by the werebear, Arthur. They're terrified. He really isn't sure how to deal with them screaming. It's the classic E.T. moment where the monster yells, the kid yells.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he did that because he saw the Reapers incite the raccoons. The Grim Reapers will try to do things like, and this doesn't happen in the book, but to give you an example, they'd be the kind that would push a piano off on somebody's head to be able to take them. And normally, once the person dies, they escort them to heaven or to hell. In this story, when the werebear is close to death as Arthur the human, he sees that Grim Reaper coming, and he kills his own Grim Reaper. So he's essentially immortal. He can't be led to heaven or hell. And the 4 Reapers slowly become aware of what's happening, and they can't kill him because they can only kill their own person by rule of God. Now, it doesn't take into account Christianity. It's not a religious book, but it's a sci-fi adventure type look at a possibility for the end of the world. Ultimately, no, I can't tell you that part, but the ending is going to be good. I don't want to tell you the ending. But I'm excited about it. And Hero Shack 3 and 4, those will be coming out. 3 will be out in November, and 4 will be a squeaker, but I think I can do both by December. I'll be working on those books while I'm doing Last of the Reapers, but Last of the Reapers is going to be my focus, so we can get out for Halloween.
Got it. And the Kickstarter stuff, we're waiting for a couple more things coming in.
Oh, yes, the campaign.
We're very excited. We were just talking about when everything comes in, we're going to literally put everybody's stuff together and mail it out to you. So.
And I'll admit, this is our first campaign, so we're probably going to stuff your boxes with a little bit too much bling.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
we'll
no,
see.
I found a whole bunch of bling that I'm going to be using from last year's convention.
He thinks.
He knows. I am very excited. I want to make everybody as happy as possible. So, and there is one very special bling thing that we actually bought that I'm not going to tell you about, but it's going to be.
But he's telling you.
No, I'm not telling them. I'm just telling them.
All right, let's change the subject.
Everybody was getting a package. Expect something special. Okay, what's
so?
Does
anybody have any questions? They've all been very quiet and listening.
Yeah. What's up, bros? You guys have gone silent.
Well, it's because Chris doesn't ever stop talking.
Actually, I'm listening to you.
He never stops talking. You guys know that.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't understand. When I get off the air, I chase down my wife and I go, honey, what'd you think about the show? What are you watching right now? What are you going to do next? Do you want to go to bed? Do you want to stay out? And it's nonstop.
Yes.
That's why I don't know if you guys have noticed. I know Lorenzo probably has. When I start having my Asperger moments, I can tweet like 400 or 500 times in an hour. And it's because I just start to. And actually, in some ways, that's good for me because I'm not blabbing off someone's head.
Because it's not me he's tweeting to. We're rather talking to, tweeting.
What did you say? I'm sorry. I had to go in the other room and plug in my phone. And
I said you probably noticed, but sometimes I can tweet 400 or 500 times in an hour when I'm having my little Asperger's moment, my little autistic moments.
Well, yeah, I like to tweet a lot of art work. I mean, I get caught up in some of the drama, but I really there's a lot of like anime and manga type stuff, and I don't know. I don't even know. I don't read Japanese. I'm assuming it's a lot of fan art. And I don't even know what the characters are. Or...
Well, you know, in Hero Shack number 3 or number 2, there is actual Japanese dialogue in it. The readers will be surprised to see it. I just kind of blew that.
Interesting.
Yep.
But I do know that it's authentic Japanese because one of my buddies who just got back from the Navy, he married a Japanese girl and she was over here with him. And she was looking through the book and she was like, ooh. And I said, what? And she's reading it out. And I'm like, you can understand it? Because all I did was use Google Translate. But I wanted to add that. Have you ever seen The Passion of Christ and just gone, wow, they're all speaking like Hebrew and Latin and Aramaic?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was the coolest thing. So in the comic, I wanted to give that feel of they're totally separate from everything English, and where you kind of have to guess from the story, from the artwork, which is what I'm always trying to do, is learn how to tell the story with the art anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm very excited about that. We're almost at 9 o'clock, which is usually our cutoff date. We have about 15 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
So in that time, why don't we ask this? Does anybody out there have a project they want to share?
Well,
I know
you
Terry's always drawing. I don't know if you have a live project you can share, though.
No, not yet.
Darn it, Terry, I was counting on you. I'm teasing. Yes, Aramaic is still spoken.
No, actually, I'm doing a challenge with a Twitch streamer. I actually challenged her to create a 8-page mini comic in a week.
Ooh.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was actually at one point going to make online comics with Zombie and Mecca, quick little stories, and I'd still be interested in doing that.
You can if you really want to.
Well, for quick things, it's a lot of fun, you know. And sometimes I have one panel inspiration. Sometimes I have quick, like in Hero Shack 2019. Hey, look, I'll push this too because some of you guys actually bought this in the backing. There's a quick little story about a woman named the Invincible Girl, Almost Invincible Girl, and it's about 8 pages. I would love to redraw it and put that in something because you know, it's just the nature of things.
It's what you do.
But like, I don't know if people are interested in that now. I don't know if Preston is watching or if he's here or not. But I still want to do all the stuff with him that we did. I just don't know how that's all going to come together. And I don't even know if he's going to trust me anymore. I told him explicitly what my role was in the mutiny. So, I mean, he might be like, you know what, that kid is just not stable enough. And that's on me if that happens. But
it's fine.
You say it's fine, but I always worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, well.
Can you highlight Barry's message again, please?
What's that?
Can you highlight Barry's message again?
Help me understand.
I
One more time, bro.
Can you highlight Barry's?
Oh, yeah, Barry. People who lie to you.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one.
About Aramaic. Shalom. Shlomo. Almost said Hebrew.
Yeah.
And it's shalom in Hebrew. I believe
I think it is.
My pronunciation on both of those is terrible.
I'm not very good at Aramaic. I used to be able to say a few words, but that was probably mispronounced. You know, I learned them through a book. So.
Yeah. This basically, there's some videos and stuff. I can't speak.
Go to the question, which book?
So DA, I'm not really wholesome, bro. How can I say this without alienating everybody?
Well, what does he mean by wholesome? What's your definition of
my
wholesome?
character? My heart is really led by God. When I say that He lives in me, it's not just a church thing because I don't do church anymore because I couldn't handle it. The problems in it. It's not to say you shouldn't go, and if you're happy there, that's fine. But the particular churches we went to, I had issues in. I just try to follow my Lord, and I try to be genuine in that. And I guess that's the best way to put it.
Mhm.
If you're not a Christian, you're still welcome here. I don't judge. In fact, I can tell you that in all the drama that happened this week, I literally asked someone very important if they believed in God, and they said no, they were an atheist, and that really was an important moment. I'm really saying this all messed up, aren't I?
Yeah.
But
That's okay. So when you talk about DA, you said he's really a wholesome guy. I guess I would say, what is your definition of wholesome? Because I could tell you otherwise.
my
Being
beautiful
married to
wife
him.
actually knows everything about me, and
And I
I'm
think
flawed
that
just like anybody else.
That he strives to be honest and truthful with people, and Chris loves people. Obviously, you guys probably can see that, and he'll give anybody a shot. Like he'll give anybody. He'll talk to we talk to everybody and anyone, and we don't judge him. So I guess in that respect, you are kind of wholesome. But when somebody crosses your path, and now we're wiser to John or Zombie, whatever his tag name is.
Well, the thing is, I still feel guilty about my role in it. I should have been wiser.
that's-
I should have been a better friend to Preston.
But rather than wasting your energy on guilt, know that.
Well, that's
Learn
what
from it.
this is about, to get it out of my system.
But it won't.
It will, because really it's been boiling in me since last Thursday. And I've talked to Preston. I said, okay, it's done. And then it's still in my heart because I see other people talking on.
And that's part of your.
But I saw people talking on.
Perseveration.
Okay, but I saw people talking on Twitter and still putting Preston down for things that he has no reason to be put down for. And I was part of that misconception. And this is my way of blowing that out. I'd much rather talk about Last of the Reapers. I did lay out the whole plot. And by the way, if anybody steals it, I'll be really mad. But I laid out the whole plot. And I did leave the ending out. I hope it wasn't too obvious. To me, the ending seems obvious.
Well, don't talk about it anymore. They'll figure it out. They're all smart people.
Well, maybe you'll figure it out.
Oh my God.
But like now I can go on tomorrow. I'll wake up with a smile on my face till I look at Twitter and see another night of rioting, which she hates. She knows when I've done it. I come in the house and I'm like, she's like, all right, what's wrong? You hate the world, don't you? It's true. Every morning you do that to me. What does that look for? I'm in trouble.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're not.
So.
Oh
yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing messages. To be honest, when I click these things like this, thank you, bro. When I click things like this, it's just so that I can see what's being said because I can't see it.
Because he's not wearing his eyeglasses, guys.
I had them too. No, those are yours. I did have them.
I don't know. He's so funny.
So nobody's mentioned projects. I can talk about a couple. White Lily, I think, has an alternate cover that he's doing.
Uh-huh.
A limited 100 copies made. I think he's still got 3 left. So if you're out there and you want to spend money, you can do it on that.
Mm-hmm.
Pope Fire. Lorenzo, he's gone. Pope Fire has a new thing out on a new webcomic called, is it Ravage?
I think
Does anybody know the name of Pope Fire's comic?
I think it's Ravage. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
I think you're right, yeah. But Pope Fire is another Twitter person I believe is a female. I'm not making fun of the person. I've just never been that. Is it a female?
Yeah.
Very cool.
She's an over-the-top Starfire fan, so it's like...
Well, if I wasn't married, I might be too. I used to love Starfire. George Perez was the man when it came to drawing her. She was like the nice Dark Phoenix in my childhood. On Webtoon, yes. Here we go. Relentless. That's the name of it.
But when I first met her, I was going through fan speak with a few other YouTubers.
Well, I've only met her through conversations with Lorenzo in the streams or in the DMs. But I did go read her comic. It was entertaining. I want to know what game she was dragging her friend into play, and it stopped there. So she left me on a cliffhanger.
It's always a good thing.
Yep.
Because you
About
can
right.
read more.
And she has Vicky Verse's endorsement. Vicky Verse does a lot of different streams. She's definitely an up and coming YouTuber, if you want to say. But I love listening to the things they talk about. She's on the Writers Workshop. She does a little bit of gossip stuff with DA. She's just a fun person. So, her backing Pope Fire is worth noting. And yeah, I can't think of too many others. Vestige. No, not Vestige. What was oh gosh, I'm doing so horrible tonight. But there was another comic that just finished funding that started with a V.
I don't know.
I could look, but it's going to elude me.
Man, it's hard to keep up.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. I had to relocate to my cave.
Well, we were just pumping Relentless a little. Do you know anything about it that you can share?
Oh, that's what I was going looking up a link and having internet problems, and then I ended up somehow I think closing the browser tab. It's like I'm switching to my phone. Yeah, I've got the link for that. If you
want to share it, please feel free.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put it
I can get it there.
I'm gonna have to cut. I'm gonna try to cut off this end of the. I have to cut off the end of this thing because it's so long. I don't even know if I can put it in the chat. I don't know if I have a range or not.
Relentless Webtoons. Oh, it came right up.
I already looked it up.
So if you Google Relentless, it comes up. Relentless Webtoons comes up. But here's the link. Boom. 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 Come on, boom. There we go. And for you Facebook people, we'll have to put it in separately. That's the right link, right?
Let's see. I'll paste something. I think it is. It's they're. I got something nearly identical. The only thing that's different is the stuff that the search engine text on it. At the end.
Right.
So it's a right link. Yes. Important part is webtoons.com. Was it /ing/challenge/relentless.
Yep.
The other part, the list, the /list, all that stuff, that's the search engine.
Yeah, you don't really need any of that.
Yeah, because mine has something different at the end, because that's what the search engine tacked on for me.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, you guys, if you're still watching and you want a good, fun web comic, that one is a great one to start with. She's only got one page up, but I'm pretty sure they have a lot more coming. I think they've already done it, and they're just slowly releasing it, which is a great idea.
And she went from when I first knew her, she didn't draw. I think she might be kind of new at it, but it's entertaining. She got some entertaining ideas. This is really only a tiny portion of it. I think she asked for it. It seems entertaining. So,
well, the best part about beginners is we all got to start there,
Yeah, and
the thing that bothers me the most with creators is when they say they're not ready, because I'm like, all you have to do is start. That's all you got to do, and don't stop. Go through a whole project, even if it looks like crap to you. Once you finish that first one and get to the second one, you've learned that much more. And every time you put out a new one, in theory, you should get better. If you don't care, it's going to get worse. But if you work hard, it will improve every time.
I agree.
Well, that's
the
only
exciting thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, every time I hear someone say that, I usually direct them to the One Punch Man webcomic. Reason I do that
here before.
Interesting.
Because it's, even though it was the first time the guy ever created a comic, it was poorly drawn. We all knew that, but the story was so interesting we didn't care that it was poorly drawn.
So I just remembered I can actually share the screen, and I don't want to rob her of the click. So I'll just show you a little bit. The comments are awesome. Hello there. Also cool stuff. I don't know what that one's about. Is that, oh, maybe they're asking about the game I want to know about. Because in the story they asked, see, there's my comment, what game I want to know. But you can see that everybody's relatively very happy with it. There's some artwork we're going to rush right by, so you can't read it. You have to go read it on the site.
You could show a little bit.
Okay, I'll show a little bit.
Yeah, because I hopefully so I'm planning on having her on my channel to promote this as well. So I think she wants people to promote this, but she also wants people to go and check it out and subscribe.
So here you see them, the two characters talking. The guy he's attractive. He's not ugly. The girl is kind of distant and mysterious, but you do get a decent look at her there. Yeah, I don't want to give it all away because I want her to get the hints, but you can see where it's going. And page 2 should be out soon. And
yeah, the exciting thing is that this is the sort of thing I've been trying to promote on my show. People don't they don't understand. Like, people ask me what the topic is of my show. Like, people will ask me. You've probably seen that before, Chris. You probably asked me that before. What's the topic?
oh yeah, I have.
Well, it's the folk. It's not always one topic. Like when Hope Fire, when she comes on, I guess the main topic will be her book, but there will be other topics as well. But the main point is to promote do-it-yourself type projects, as well as hobbies. So I mean, sometimes somebody will be playing a video game or whatever. They'll put that on the screen or whatever. But the real, because that's a hobby. I like to encourage people to have fun, and share their hobbies, But other things might be somebody like maybe making a model, or they're like what I'm saying, like maybe they're painting a miniature, but a lot of times it's like Daniel will be there and he'll be actually drawing his comic book, or Terry will be drawing, or
Skinny will be lettering and nobody can see what he's doing.
yeah, or let's see.
Oh, we should have pushed that. Make sure you subscribe, guys, when you go to see that webtoon.
And Shinobi Raccoon's on drawing a lot of times too.
Yep.
And he's featuring a lot of the thumbnails, and so but it's really, I want people to get back to going in like in the olden days when they were drawing zines and stuff. I think Pope Fire is doing that. Sorry for the long ass comment. Roundabout way of saying that. But she's really doing what I have in mind for the show.
I just want to let Jalapeno know all you missed was my recount of what happened in the mutiny thing. It'll be on replay. I don't want to repeat it because it was at least half the show. We've talked about Pope Fire's Relentless comic, and Bean brought up that, yes, we should, in fact, subscribe to that. Hang on, I'm going to pull it up one more time because I want to make sure I'm subscribed.
You must be posted.
Yeah, but I might not actually be subscribed. It didn't occur to me. I just went and read it. But yeah, I will subscribe to it. Okay.
Yeah, does somebody need to register an account?
Yeah, you have to register with it. I think I already have an account with them.
That's what I thought. I haven't used that, but I haven't used the software before, the site, other than going to visit her comic book. Either today or last night.
I think you got a hold. You were in touch with them in Boston during that convention, right? I wanted you to
do something.
And I think I signed up for an account when she went to the Boston convention.
I was trying to encourage Chris to put one of his comics or write a comic for Webtoons.
Right.
He decided that's not the route that he wanted to go.
I decided that we wanted to publish books, and
I think maybe if you subscribe, it might even get enough subscribers. I don't know if they get money or what the deal is, but whatever it is, it's very beneficial. So to the creator and to oneself too, I would imagine, to get an account there, because it looks like that's a good place to find comics.
So I just want to show you guys, when I was saying start from somewhere, This was my first comic book, and it was done not last January, but the one before, January 2019. Very proud of this, but it's nowhere near my best work. It's full of over dialogue. The cover was crappy, but you know what? I learned.
But he learned.
Right.
And he was so excited he got his first comic book, and that was awesome. So,
But I got to tell you, going to the conventions with that was funny because when I first went with that issue alone, people were like, "Oh, this guy's not going to last very long." But the covers slowly got better and better, and you can tell I have them all laid out here, right? That's the latest one that has been released. This was the fourth one in the whole series, and I am kind of still proud of it. The anatomy could be better, but you know, I do it all. So when I color it and stuff, I look at the colors and I like the way they came out. Probably should have gone with the blue background on this one, but lesson learned, right? So don't ever give up. You know, if you guys are out there doubting yourselves, you can contact me. I'll tell you how I did it. It's not that hard, and it's affordable.
right.
Right. So Jalapeno Milk, we did announce Arthur. I told the whole story up to the conclusion in a very summarized manner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very excited because instead of having to create another character to put into this, we're going to be using just a really cool werebear that everybody seems to love and is involved with. Well, my name's Chris. But yeah, this was actually, there's an easy way to show you. This was 2019. That's all of it. I put all those books in one book and offered it in this last campaign. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next one because it's Last of the Reapers, but we'll come up with something, probably, you know, oversized posters and things like that for the tiers. Yeah, bro, I'm so excited about, I didn't know you were doing that. So maybe we should converse because I think we should have like a TV guide of the shared universe because there's so many people streaming and I hate missing streams of my friends, you know?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
A TV guide, like a
like a stream guide.
who's doing what when,
Uh-huh.
so people cannot like put their streams at that time.
Or
Just
if they
wanna
do,
watch
they
it.
know, okay, the other stream is on. I want to go back and see it. You know, like it will happen where things will overlap.
Mhm.
But when it does, it's okay. Because as long as you know, as long as I knew the rack was spinning, I can go back and watch that. I will tell you guys that Tuesday nights, I'm always taken by Rabbi Peter. This is my chance to promote my rabbi. He's a very cool guy. Tuesday nights at 8. Check him out sometime, even if you're not messianic. It's awesome.
He's very funny.
I love him. Obviously, I love him, right? And with that said, guys, this is probably going to sound weird, but we always end at 9.
I end at 9.
Yes. Well,
You can chit chat or go into one of their streams.
I may go into one of their
Who's
streams if
streaming
they start.
after at 9 o'clock? Tell Chris he can come.
That would be you, Lorenzo, if you're
Lorenzo, are you
streaming. Or it could be Jalapeno Milk. Oh, Lorenzo's gone. All right. So listen, guys, I'm going to close off here. If you're streaming, let me know on Twitter and I'll join you there because I'll be up for a little while. I'm pretty excited. Again, I'm sorry about the drama that came about with the shared universe and with Comicsgate TM. And we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. I think that getting this out of my system is going to actually help me a lot.
I agree.
Yeah. And anybody on Facebook who I've missed, I'm sorry. I have a hard time seeing, but I'm sure Diana caught with you.
Yes, well, there wasn't too many in there, and I took care of them.
Right.
That sounded bad. I was conversing.
Oh, Lorenzo's back. So real quick.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, are you interested? Is anybody interested in streaming tonight?
Yeah, I'm
If
gonna.
you're interested in streaming, I'll stream.
Well, I'm gonna take a break for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll be back on Twitter. So if you're streaming, I'll come join you.
Oh yeah, sorry about. I didn't mean to be talking so much about my own rambling out about my own channel.
You know what? It's not your.
You know, I just thought it was cool that with Pope Fire and Raggedy Man. I forgot to mention him.
Thank you, Terry.
Really nice guy. What they're doing is just really cool. It's what I
wasn't gonna pull. Hey,
it's like when they made the zines back in the 90s or 80s or whenever.
Right.
The punk rock zines.
Yep. So are you gonna stream later?
I'll stream if you'll come on.
Yep.
I'll,
Give me like.
I'll try to get some other people as well. It's
I
kind
got
of short notice, but yeah, I'll stream.
All right, bro. I'll be looking for you.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, man. I love you guys, and hey, don't.
Oh, it looks like he might have removed himself from the show. So we're still live, huh?
Yeah, I messed up, but
Yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time. People will be like, "Where'd Lorenzo go?"
Well, my Mac has this mighty mouse, and if you swish it the wrong way, it goes to the page you were at last. So it went back to where I logged in. But
Do
yeah,
they still make those mice?
yeah.
I thought
Look
that
at
was like, oh, okay.
it's funny too because it plugs into it's weird. It plugs into the Thunderwire thing that they have, and everything else I have is USB-C. There it is. So I have to keep one Thunderwire left.
Oh boy.
No. Yeah, so I'll be back in like 10 minutes if you have a link, and I'll catch you there, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Just remember that I had previously posted your link, so if you end up in there, then you'll be in your old chat.
I'll watch for a new one.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys. Good night for now.
But take care and God bless.
God bless you too, brother.